Hello, once again. It's me, Cassie. I'm a songwriter and music artist. In part two, we talked about how Malami seized executive power and began to command the country with his national interest philosophy. In part three, we'll talk about how Malami, due to the vacuum created by Buhari's persistent illness, became the emperor of Nigeria and began to control security agencies, manipulating legal systems, and of course, amassing frightening amounts of money. So, sir, how did you meet Malami? Because we'd like to know.
No, I didn't know him before, but
Okay,
following Abubakar Malami's appointment by Buhari
okay,
on November 25, 2016,
okay.
I had led a custom delegation to meet with him in his office at the Federal Ministry of Justice in Abuja. I spoke to him about the significant work we have done over several years to unite the different organizations in the Nigerian music industry under what we called the Nigerian Music Industry Coalition,
Okay.
and that we had set up the framework for an industry with potentials for tremendous employment of our youth and wealth creation and growth for the Nigerian nation. We sought the assistance of the Attorney General to actualize the plans. One of the initiatives we discussed with Mr. Malami was what we call the private copy levy scheme.
Scheme. Okay. What is the private copy levy scheme all about, sir?
Okay, at a meeting during the period I was on the board of the Nigerian Copyright Council, NCC, now the Nigerian Copyright Commission, I had proposed to the board the possibility of instituting a scheme to recoup for the benefit of copyright owners the enormous amount of money lost in the millions who use modern technology such as blank tapes, writable CDs, flash drives, photocopy machines and paper, smartphones, etc., to freely copy music, videos, books, etc. Yes, similar schemes have started working in Scandinavia and even some countries in our region, such as Ghana and Burkina Faso. When I talk about private copy, I talk about uh, cell phones that you can go to now and see thousands of musical works copied
True.
by somebody without paying one penny
True.
for
Very
those.
true. Very
Yeah,
true.
right? You see flash drives with hundreds and thousands of works which have been acquired for free. There are a lot of Nigerian young people in Nigeria who graduate from the University of Polytechnics without ever buying a book.
True.
They go to business centers and copy
Copy. True.
full books
True. Very
written
true.
by somebody, deny the person of any income or the publisher of any income.
True.
You know. So by doing this, the owners of the works lose a huge amount of money. So when I spoke to the NCC board, which had some of Nigeria's finest brains and patriots, such as Professor Egerton Obiegara, Professor Vincent Chukwemeka Ike, Professor Ija Lagwa, Professor Zainab Akali, Dr. Bruce Onabrakweya, Professor H.I. Haya, Mr. Ade Afolayan, Mr. Frank Aige Mokwede, etc. This issue was exhaustively debated, my proposal. I was therefore then mandated to work with the late Professor Egerton Obiegara to produce a draft of a private copy levy scheme, taking into consideration the Nigerian peculiarities
Okay.
as part of the amendment to the Copyright law being considered by the board. Mr. Bayo Ayebusi, a senior staff of the NCC, was given to us to act as our secretary. Our draft was approved by the board and proposed to the government. It was signed into law on December 28, 1992 as part of the Copyright Amendment Decree 98 of 1992. The provisions were captured as Section 40 of the Copyright Act, Cap 6, 28 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, and significantly reproduced as Section 89 of the present Copyright Act, 2022. Let me tell you that several years after I left the board of the NCC, I was invited by the NCC again to assist them in writing the necessary regulations for the takeoff of the private copy Levy scheme. I worked in Lagos with assistance of Mr. Chinedu Chukwuji, then General Manager of COSON, and Mr. Mike Akpan, a member of staff of the NCC, to produce the regulations, which was forwarded to the NCC and published in the Federal Gazette as Copyright Levy of Material Order 2012.